Hello, my name is Brandon Bryce. Welcome to the Veggie Gardener. Alright, today I'm planting carrots, beets, potatoes. I did just plant some strawberries, and if we have time, I might want to take you around and show you what has come up, which is all pretty much the Brassicaceae and some of the garlic. So, alright, so let's get into it. Alright, so I'm still trying to figure out the best way to do this to make it not so boring, because I know sometimes, it's broadcast seeding. It's not that hard. Anyways, so to just touch on the carrots a little bit, again, they're semi-hardy. They're from the family Umbellifera. We talked about anything that you eat from leaf or root is going to be in your cold season, and I found a pattern is the roots are actually typically semi-hardy. Unless it's from the family Brassicaceae, which is your beets and turnips, those are going to be hardy. And yes, semi-hardy just means you can plant them about 2 weeks before the last frost. Spacing on carrots, remember they're thin, or the diameter is narrow, so 2 to 3 inches. And anything out of the ordinary, 2 months seed to harvest. It's really all you need to know. To harvest, just wait till they're 1 to 2 diameters, in 1 to 2 inches in diameter. And when we do these in the fall, which we will do these in the fall, I probably won't exactly go through the planting again, because I know it's simple once you get it down. But we'll wait to harvest our carrots after the frost, because that frost turns their starches into sugars. And so yeah, all right, let's move on. All right, so we're planting carrots. Ooh. This is what my carrot seeds look like, or this is what carrot seeds do look like, if you can see that. They're really small. It does help sometimes if you have sand and can mix the carrots in with the sand and then sprinkle them out. But I usually just sprinkle them with my thumb, kind of like salt in essence. Just sprinkle them around. We got a radish rows right over here. So we have quite a lot of space. We got about 1 foot wide of a row for our carrots. And again, it's just broadcast seeding. We can do this in rows. That would be totally fine. As you can see, I already planted something in here, which is radishes. And I'm okay with that because the radishes should come up earlier than the carrots. And so once I get this row or this area sprinkled out, I didn't do all of it, but again, I'm just gonna kind of rake my fingers in here, and I'm not that worried about the radishes. They're pretty tough. Plus they were old seeds, so I was kind of just trying to get rid of some seeds, and then just go along and press it down. And really, that's the carrots. Just like everything else we've done, broadcast seed or do your little trench in a row, doesn't matter. Super easy. All these plants are pretty easy. So yeah, moving on. All right, to introduce the beets. Chenopodiaceae, family Chenopodiaceae. Again, cold season, it's a root. Semi-hardy because it's not brassica. Remember, the only roots that are going to be hardy are brassica. Everything else is going to be semi-hardy. The beets are interesting because it's 4 to 6 inch spacing. I would lean on the 4. Unless your soil is very poor, then go for the 6 because they need that. But if your soil's fine, as we've talked about, as we've prepped our beds already, 4 inches should be perfect. Seed to harvest, same thing as almost everything else, 2 months. and we're waiting. We're gonna harvest when the root is about 2 to 3 inches thick, so 1 more inch compared to the carrot anyways. Interesting thing about beets, just to throw it in there, is historically it's the same plant as the Swiss chard plant. The beets are just grown for the roots, whereas the Swiss chard is grown for the leaf. Otherwise it's the same plant. That's why the seeds look the same. They look like goat heads. And yeah, all right, moving on. All right, so we're doing our beets. I did 2 trenches. All I did was, take the side of my hand, dig 2 trenches. Beets are from the family Chenopodiaceae, and if you remember, the spacing on them was 4 to 6 inches. So these are about 4 inches apart, these 2 rows. And this is what beets look like. If you remember, this is exactly what chard looks like. Little goat head looking things. I mean, they're not as sharp as goat heads, of course, but anyways, all we're gonna do is sprinkle them in here. Remember, 4 to 6 inch spacing, so kind of aim for that. I would aim for maybe a little tighter than that, because some of them, a select few, not very much, will not germinate. So maybe aim for like a 2 to 3 inch spacing on these guys, but don't worry if you're not exact. And we'll just go down the line like this. And then when we're done, make sure I get them up here too, all the way up here next to the wood. We're gonna just cover them. And you can broadcast seed these guys as well. And then we're gonna tamp them down, don't forget that. All right, and that's what our beets are gonna look like. Let's move on to the potatoes. All right, introducing the potatoes. Potatoes, again, semi-hardy. I mean, that's why we're planting them all at the same time. It is from a different family, Solanaceaceae, or Solanaceae, I pronounced that wrong. Anyways, Solanaceae, there's 1 C, and all right. Anyways, spacing, these are large plants, so 12 to 15 inch spacing. Give them about a foot. I am planting them next to some onions this year, and so I gave them 1.5 feet just so they don't overpower the onion or overtake the onions, because potatoes can do that, especially if they're in an environment that they really like. I have a huge list of companion plants, and good and bad. Anything out of the ordinary. Compared to all these other cold season plants that we've planted so far, these are going to be a long season plant. These are going to be able to last through your summer, so about 4 months. And really, I mean, you can harvest them in the fall. So we're planting them and we're waiting to the fall. For baby potatoes, all you really need to do is wait for the potato plant to produce flowers, and then it's going to start producing little baby potatoes. Or you wait till the plant dies back. About 2 weeks after the plant dies back, that, all the leaves flop over, turn black and die, that's dying back. 2 weeks after they start dying back, then you can harvest the potatoes. Now, potato plants, when you harvest them, they're going to have some big potatoes and they're going to have some small potatoes. So don't think that, you won't get any small potatoes if you harvest a plant later. You'll just get like maybe a half and half or a variety, and that's kind of nice. So anything else? Oh yeah, cool little thing. So the Irish potato famine, the reason why it was so crazy was they survived on potatoes and milk. They got all their nutrients from potatoes and milk. And so when half of that diet, potatoes, went from, some blight, they got wiped out. They had to figure things out, move, or, well, it's a sad story. So, all right, never mind. Moving on. Let's actually plant potatoes. All right, guys. right, so we're gonna do potatoes, and these are called seed potatoes. They're really just potatoes that were stored for long enough to where they start creating these top sets, or whatever they're called, sprouts. And the sprouts come from eyes. So a lot of times you can cut the potato so that each section has an eye to it, and you can actually multiply how many potatoes you might have. But I'm planting holes because I have so many. And really all we're gonna do is just dig down deep and plop our potato in. And call it good. Now these guys are radishes. Again, I just had so many, and they were old seeds, so I figured, what the heck, if I get more radishes out of them, that'd be cool. Well, cool. Thanks for sticking with me, and I hope you found this useful if you have never really planted any of these plants, and I hope maybe even these sheets will help you if you have planted these plants. All right, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a good day.